Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Rose, and this is the Nerdic Gods podcast episode. Oh boy, 188.
Oh,
No,
close, very close.
189,
Nope.
187. Okay, I was
187.
almost there. Didn't I say 187 last week? You weren't here, but
I
like
was not
shit.
here. You might have
Shit.
said
I
it
think
last
I
week.
said 187 last week. Episode 187 times two,
Yeah.
bigger and better.
Part two.
187, part two. Yeah, we are continuing the 187s. It'll be a whole trilogy, Daniel. Sequel trilogy here.
Okay.
You're actually not Daniel. You're Daniel's son.
Is this lore?
This is lore. Yeah, this is canon.
Okay.
This is a canon event.
Is
I'm
that for the
actually
aliens.
not Connor. I am Connor's great grandson.
Okay.
Mm.
So did Connor die in the bunker?
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Long gone. Long gone. He's actually been dead for quite a while. His father
rest
was
in
here,
peace.
then his father was here. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. I'm here.
Crazy.
Taking over. Daniel, welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm
I'm
here
here.
to you.
Not even me.
Daniel, I got the Spider-Man controller. It's here.
Ooh. Okay.
Got it. I got it. Now that it's
I
in
was saying,
person,
I want to see the buttons.
you want to see the buttons? Oh, I like the white
Yeah.
buttons quite a
Are
bit.
they white on white or? I can't tell. It's glaring
it's
a
like
little
kind of a
bit.
gray for the
Okay.
the symbols themselves.
Yeah, because like mine.
There you go. You can kind
mine-
of see it in there.
mine here I have the cosmic whatever red or whatever. It has like pink buttons. Which is pretty cool.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that is cool.
I mean I've had this one for a while, but the buttons are pink, which is pretty nice.
PlayStation
stands
get
out.
fancy with the buttons there.
Yeah, if they would make better designed controllers, maybe they'd be worth it.
Love it. I love it.
Spicy today, huh? Bet you miss my spiciness.
Yeah, no, not at all. Love it, love it. I do like the control. I do wish the red went this way a bit more. They should have went half and half.
A little bit
I
more.
think.
Or
Yeah, I think a
split
little
it-
bit more.
Split it that way.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
even like imagine how cool it'd be if like the analog stick was slightly red. Maybe just like right here or something. Like maybe that would
See,
look
I don't
weird.
know.
But
That'd be too much, probably.
that would be too. Okay, maybe not the
Yeah.
analog stick then, but just bring the redness part a little bit this way.
I mean, we've
would've
talked
said.
about on the show when like it was revealed with the console and the controller. Like, I'm not that crazy on it as like a design. Like, I think that it's not bad. I just don't think it's as good as like the original
The PS4
console and then
Yeah.
the controller. I
Yeah.
still,
Just
even
that
though I don't
plain
really,
red look great, right?
yeah, the plain red, the white on the red just pops so much. I really like that color scheme.
Yeah, I like it like thematically, like what
Oh, for
how it relates
sure,
to
the idea of
story.
it.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah.
fucking cool. But yeah, I'm
sure.
kind of with you. I still really like the design. I think it's by far the best looking DualSense that they've made thus far.
I like the colors. The colors, there's like the Nerdic God colors that they have.
Yeah,
Those are pretty nice.
those are cool too. But yeah, it's probably my favorite one that they made. It's better than like the Wolf one that they made with
Yeah,
God of
yeah.
War, or like that Final Fantasy one is way better than that. I didn't
I don't
like that
even
Final
remember the
Fantasy
Final
one.
Fantasy
There was a Final Fantasy one. There was a Hogwarts one too that I didn't like that much. So
I
yeah,
don't even remember that.
of all those, I like this one the best. Still could have
Yeah,
been
they
a little
definitely
bit
need to
better.
step up their game centric ones. Like,
Yeah,
Xbox
they're just
definitely
not
has
as good
better
as it
ones.
with Xbox. Like
Yeah.
it's like Xbox
Starfield
also
one
they
was so
like
good.
they also just put out those random ones where like you can't actually buy them, but someone can
Oh,
like the
yeah.
Armored Core one and stuff like that. And those are always the ones that like look super fucking cool,
Yeah, the
right?
Armored
Like
Core one
majority of
was
those ones. Yeah, the Armored Core one is really cool. It was another really cool one.
The Sonic
Earlier
one.
this year. Was
Fur?
there Sonic?
You
Oh,
remember the Sonic
no,
one
that
with
one
the
was
fur?
disgusting. Don't bring that up.
That was a gross control.
That's fucking gross. I'm just getting Cheeto dust on that thing. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just imagine holding and sweating.
You're in a real sweaty match on like Street Fighter or some shit. You're like, oh my god,
It's
getting
matted
wet. It's
fur.
literally getting wet from your sweat. Yeah, no, can't do that. The Starfield one though, I'm playing with it now.
I know,
Lovely.
it's such a
fucking
nice
fucking lovely. You know what else they got now is like little grip on the what do you
Yeah,
call
they-
these RT?
They have.
Right
I
trigger.
don't they all have that? I'd have
Do
to
they
look
all
into-
have that?
I
I
think
see. I don't
so.
think my Halo one does. I don't know where my Halo one is at the moment.
I
But like,
wanna
I
say that
don't
they do.
remember little grips on the triggers. And I'm such a big fan of
My
the
Halo-
grips.
My Halo Pro or Elite has one.
That one does have it. Maybe like rubbed off on my underside. I don't know. I gotta find my Halo
Yeah,
controller.
my 20th edition has it.
Okay, they must all have it. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm noticing it more on this one.
Yeah, even my regular black came with the console. Has
Yeah.
as the you might just be rubbing it off. You're just rough. You got rough
I'm
hands.
not that rough though, you know. I've never been one of those people where I'm like, oh, my fucking
Your
controller broke.
hands sandpaper?
Some people are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, some people are literally
Some people have
crazy.
acidic sweat. Have you heard of like these some people that are like will like
But they got
melt
fucking
or like
superpowers? What's going on
I
there?
don't know. Like there are people that'll like with like laptops or something. Well, it'll discolor the metal because they're sweat. It's like they got
Ugh,
super sweat.
what is wrong with them? Those people need to be
Yeah,
studied for science
yeah.
or
Need to
something.
be probed.
Maybe that's a human evolution, you know. We're just starting off here, you know.
Acidic sweat.
Aesthetic sweat. It'll literally melt your skin. It's gonna be great. Gonna be a great future. Daniel, it's been another busy week in the world of video games.
So many video games.
A lot of video games. A lot of video games. This year is just like, you know, it's just
It's
too
not
much. It's too
stopping.
much. It's too much with video games. We need to stop.
Mortal Kombat's about to come
We need
out
to
soon
stop.
too.
There's like the rumors of the strike leaking into video games now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yes, please. Let's just
Please,
please
just start now.
Yeah,
Let these other games not
we'll
come
start
out yet.
now. We'll pause every single game for the next
For
year.
about 5 years.
Yeah, sure. We can go 5 years. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
There's so many games I want to play.
I need to catch up on shit, and it's just, and now I'm in the middle of Starfield, and it's just so much. It's just
I have 45, 50 years worth of games I can catch up on.
yeah.
You could stop for about 5 years.
We could stop. Yeah. Okay. Our first news story then, Daniel. Nintendo had a Super Mario Wonder Direct last week. I think it was last week Thursday, so about a week old news.
Yeah, last Thursday.
Yeah. We gonna go over what they did announce at this Direct. Daniel, I know you said you skimmed the Direct at least, or you
Yeah.
might have watched it a while ago. Who knows?
Yeah, I
at
don't
this
think I
point?
watched the full thing.
Okay, I didn't either.
kinda
but
looked at, like,
but I
some-
skimmed it. Nonetheless, Super Mario Wonder coming out October 18th. No, October 20th.
No, I think it's the 20th.
Yeah, the 20th, because it's the same day as Spider-Man now.
Yeah.
Got a full direct. Here it is. 2D Mario. Get one on Switch finally. How you feeling? What do you think about the direct? I know you're very excited about this.
Yeah, this might be the game I'm looking forward to the most. By the end of the year. I mean, obviously it's this and Spider-Man in the same day, which is pretty funny. Yeah, it looks great. I think I love the animation style that this game has compared to like the new Super Mario games.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that like silhouette going on behind Mario and just the way kind of everything looks. It's not like super different from Super
I
Mario
think if you put
U.
it side by side, it's pretty different.
It's pretty different. It's not like super, but like I do like that they just added a bit more style to it. You know, it's like they just touched it up a little bit,
the
added
words
its own
coming
little
out.
flair to it. Yeah, I really like that stuff. So yeah, I'm super into that. I really like the whole grabbing the Wonder Flower and then like the world sort of changing. Like that seems like really trippy to me. Like
That's
you
Mario
can do some
eating
really fun
mushrooms.
stuff with that. That's exactly what's going on there. And his whole world goes upside down. All of a sudden it became like Inception. I'm like, Jesus, what's going on here? Like they really are doing drugs in this world. But no, yeah, I think this game looks great. I'm not the biggest fan of 2D platformers, so I'm not like really anticipating
Yeah.
this game.
Are you even gonna play it?
I will at some point, you know. It's not like on my must play list by any
Okay.
means, but I'm sure at some point I'll pick it up, play it. I played through whatever U Deluxe on Switch,
Yeah.
so I played through that just like slowly over time. So you know, and I enjoyed that enough to where I would play another 2D Mario, but not some point where I'm eagerly anticipating it. And it's just so busy around that time too, you know. It's just Spider-Man's right there, Alan Wake's the week after. They just announced the UFC date being the week after that, so I'm just sitting there like, it's a lot. But nonetheless, I thought it was a great direct. I love the more focused directs. If you're looking forward to that game, I always think are really enjoyable.
Yeah, what was the last like 2D platformer you even played? Like pure platform.
Man, I tried Celeste for a little bit, you know. Yeah, I know people love that one, so you know, and I got partially way through that. The story seemed really cool, but yeah, I just wasn't like super into the game itself.
I mean, Celeste, you can do all of the like God mode and
Yeah.
infinite jumps that if you really just want to experience the story, you could breeze through it in just mere hours if you were that curious on it.
Yeah, which seems to be the case in Super Mario Wonder too, with a lot of the helpful things. You know, they showed that thing at the end with like the grappling hook, which I thought was very interesting with the vine.
Yeah, they're called badges, I think.
Yeah, badges. So yeah, there's gonna be.
But you can only have one at a time, which is interesting.
That is interesting. I would go with that
Yeah,
grappling hook. That grappling
the
hook just
grappling
looked
hook's
fun to
pretty
me. You know, I was like, oh, dude, I'll play a whole game like
cool.
this. That sounds
Mario with a
great.
grappling hook. Grappling hooks make
Fuck
everything
yeah,
better.
they really do. They really do. Give me grappling hook and a jetpack, you know, and then we're
Yeah.
set. Then we're fucking
Is there a
set.
jetpack in it?
I didn't see a jetpack. No.
Hmm.
Mm,
Big miss.
big miss. That's what he needed. An Italian plumber jetpack. You know, maybe it's a water. Oh, it'd be the water pack from Super Mario Sunshine.
The flood.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so you know, I think the game looks great. I think it's gonna be one of the highest rated games of the year by the time it comes out. You know, I think
Where is it? Baldur's Gate Zelda level?
yeah, I think so. I don't think maybe not
So
quite that level, but like
93.
93, 94, 92 in that range. If I had to guess, yeah, I think so. People love these 2D Mario games and you know, Nintendo in general. So it's gonna be fucking high. I think.
Yeah. If I'm gonna guess, probably 92.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
around there. If I had to go, yeah, I would go with it. I wonder if this ends up slotting in on one of the Game of the Year nominees. I've been thinking about that recently. Like, what is going to be the Game of the Year nominees at the Keighley? There's a lot to pick from now this year, and it's gonna
We're
be
not
tough.
done yet, so it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be
But
tough to
so
predict that even. But
I mean, what have I been saying for years on the show? It needs to be not 6. It shouldn't have been 6 for a while now.
yeah,
But it needs to be 10. So if we're gonna say 10, just to please me, right? We're gonna say 10. What are the 10 games?
we're gonna say 10. Okay.
Just say 10.
Okay. Well, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate. I feel like those two are locks at this point. Then if we're doing 10, I mean, Diablo 4. What else?
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter for sure. You might as well throw Mortal Kombat in there at this point. No, you don't think so? Even if we're doing 10, you don't think so? Really? Okay. So just Street Fighter? Okay. Then I don't know if Fallen Order would make it. Not Fallen Order. Jedi Survivor. You know, if there's 10, I could see it slotting in there.
Probably not.
Probably
I
not.
wouldn't think
Yeah, a
so.
lot of people didn't like that one because of the issues, but maybe FF16 then if there's 10. If
Maybe.
there's 6, I don't think FF16 has a chance, but 10, I would say yeah, probably it would probably slot in
What
there
about the
then.
game that we like?
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah,
Oh,
you gotta put Hi-Fi Rush in there. And then Starfield as well. Spider-Man,
Mario.
Mario. Does Alan Wake 2 slip in there? We're gonna have to see with reviews on that one. Do people like that one enough? What else is
Okay, then you get that Armored Core.
Armored Core? Yep, that would be it. Yeah.
That's 11 right there.
That's 11. Okay, see, you really do need to up to 10. This is the year if we're gonna up it to 10. You got to do
We
it
haven't even
now.
named a single indie game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sea of Stars. What else is? What indie games would be in
Dredge.
there even? Oh yeah, Dredge. People like that. That
Dave
the
the
Diver
Diver.
game. Yeah, people really like that too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough year. If there's only 6, the 6 is gonna be rough. Good luck getting in there. You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like if it is 6, the only 2 that are locks. Well, there's probably a lot that are more locks, but like Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate would be the only ones that are like locks, I think. And then probably Starfield. I think you gotta throw Starfield in there. Spider-Man, you gotta throw in there. I guess we'll have to wait for reviews, but I would guess you gotta throw that in there.
I'm looking at, things that, that I keep a list for our awards at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We have Hogwarts.
Hogwarts, yeah.
We have Dead Space. We have
Ooh.
RE4 remake.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot about RE4 remake. RE4
Jedi
would be one
Survivor.
of the 10.
You could put Mortal Kombat. Venba, but I don't think that would make it.
No.
Planet of Lana maybe, but that's like indie stuff.
Yeah. If an indie game's gonna get in there at this point, it's gonna be Sea of Stars, I would imagine, with how highly praised that game came out of the gate with.
Yeah, that's kind of like the few that I have also here. Yeah, you have 2 remakes that are really good too.
Yeah, good point. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. I can't wait for that stuff to start ramping up. That'll be fun. But yeah, Super Mario Wonder coming out October 20th. A lot of people looking forward to it. Now you're playing this before you play Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like that. All right. Our next news story then Sort of unfortunate one. Effective immediately, Embracer Group has shut down Violation Games. The team says they are proud of the games they've created over the past 30 years and will be trying to help former employees find new jobs. Daniel, I know you're a big fan of these guys, like the Saints Row
Yeah,
games. I haven't really played the
Evolutions.
Saints Row games since like 2, so been a
You
little
didn't play
while
3
for
or
me.
4?
I didn't play 3 or 4, no, and which I know are the ones people highly praise. Yeah, yeah, I never played them.
You should
I
just go
played
play
1 and 2.
3.
Yeah, at some point I'm gonna have
3 is
to.
an all-time
What's the one
great
where you're
game.
pretty much the superhero?
That's 4.
That's 4. Okay.
You play as like the president with
Yeah.
superpowers.
Is that one just like too much then? Is that just like
No,
no
it is, but it's a good too
good
much.
time still?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
like, but 3 is like an all-time classic,
Yeah,
and some people say 2 is as well, but
yeah.
I think 3 is better.
And so yeah, these
Um,
guys have been around 30 years, which is just crazy. That's a very long time for a development studio to even be around. You know, we see studios come and go much quicker than that. So yeah, for them to stick around 30 years just shows kind of the level of talent that they had, you know. And this really shows that Embracer Group is just fucking up all over the place. I don't, you know, you would think they had some sort of a plan here going on with how many studios they bought up recently. There's like what 130 something studios that they own, and now it seems like I know this isn't the only one that's shut down recently through them, but now it seems like the walls are caving in on them a little bit, and unfortunately, it sounds like more people are probably gonna end up losing their jobs.
yeah, they also did the Red Faction games,
Oh,
which
you're
were
right. You're right. Yeah.
really cool games too. Um, yeah, it's not only is this whatever hundreds of people losing their jobs, it's I mean, this is one of the longest running studios out there.
Yeah.
Like
100%.
30 years is
30
crazy.
years.
Like
I
they
mean, what,
just celebrated 30
93?
years.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wasn't even alive.
I was, but
You were just born. You know, it's just fucking nuts. But yeah, man, it's you know, and I know the last Saints Row game wasn't received super well by everyone,
hey,
but
you can look at my review.
yeah, Daniel,
Yeah,
yeah, go look at the Nerd of Gods review on the on our YouTube channel. Daniel loved the game, so it's like, you know,
I didn't.
maybe not love it, but you liked it, right?
I
Enjoyed
I
it.
am slightly higher on it than other people that think that reviewed the game, but
My point is not enough to the point where like you think the game should have failed and we shut down the studio, right?
no, absolutely not.
Yeah,
I think if you're just looking for a dumb, fun open world game, like it will fit that bill.
yeah,
And I haven't even played it since they did all those updates to the game.
yeah. It's supposed to be way better now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so like I'm sure that game's fine.
yeah,
It's not perfect. I'd like them to do another like a sequel after that, see if they can just improve, but who knows? I think Embracer said they're going to keep the IPs going, but it's like I don't want anyone. Who else do I even want making a Saints Row game?
yeah. All right. And it's interesting choice to shut them down too, because this is one of their bigger studios, right? I mean,
They're
besides
huge,
the
yeah.
3 they bought from Square and Gearbox, they were probably next up after that. So like their 5th biggest studio at the time, you know?
Yeah, kind of deep silver stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So it's it's just a very interesting choice that this is the one you guys are gonna shut down. But I suppose this was probably one of the studios they put the most money into or had to pay the most for. So I guess it would be a top choice to shut down, but it's just really unfortunate because it just seems like Embrace Group doesn't know what they're doing, and yeah, I'd be fearful for just about every studio in that company right now.
yeah. Instead of like keeping a studio like this going, we'll just buy rights to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
Instead of paying the studio for
and
years.
do literally nothing with it yet, as far as we know. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be really interesting to watch Embrace Group over the next few years because who knows if they're even a thing. It's
Man,
like
it just would have been better if like I don't know. I don't know how it really works. Volition just splits. They're just able to keep themselves going them by themselves. Maybe someone else can purchase them, but just straight shutting them down is kind of. I don't know.
yeah, it's rough, man.
Maybe
It's a
I'm
lot.
holding the studio a little too high, but I don't know. It just feels like this is not a studio that should be shut down like that.
Well, also, I mean, you got to think too for the people that work there. This is a studio in Illinois, so there isn't like a ton of game studios in the Midwest that they can just. It's not like San Francisco or one of the
Yeah,
Premiere,
LA.
yeah, or LA or whatever, where they can just go work down the street at a new video game studio, right? I mean, assuming you get hired by them and all that. I don't want to make it sound like it's that easy, but like, it's not like they can just simply stay in their same location and go work at a different studio now. All these people would have to move entirely, to different points throughout the country or different countries in general. So it's just, yeah, man, it sucks. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, hopefully they land on their feet.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, rest in peace. Uh,
You go play. How about we all celebrate and go play Saints Row?
we're all gonna go play Saints Row. Okay, right after
Yeah.
Starfield. Once I get done with that, I'll hop
Yeah. What
right
are you
on
on
there.
your 10th new game plus
Yeah,
or
10th new
whatever?
game plus already. Real gun ho about those new game pluses. All right. Next up, then, Square Enix has announced that Final Fantasy 16 will be getting 2 paid DLCs, and that they are also working on a PC port for the game. We should be expecting more news about both those things later this year. Daniel, let's start with the PC port. Since I know Square just wants to talk about how unhappy they are with the sales of everything. you know.
Well, okay, man, Square's such a weird company. It's like number one, PlayStation, I guess, paid for like marketing and whatever. I guess they paid for some of the games, but it's like number one, you did that to yourself. You're making it an exclusive. It's gonna sell worse.
Not only
Period.
that, it's like, don't you guys calculate it like to where you would get so much money from PlayStation for making it
It should
exclusive
counterbalance that, right?
that, yeah, that it would counteract that. Why else would you
Clearly, it
take the
wasn't.
deal?
Yeah, clearly it wasn't then.
Yeah.
Number two, yeah, like don't put as much money into it then. Let the dev cycle be a little lower. Don't take this long to make this game.
Well, maybe you didn't need
Learn.
100 useless side quests in the fucking
Yeah.
game. I also do want to say, from my perspective, the game sold pretty good. 3.5 million in a week. What more were you really expecting out of a PlayStation 5 exclusive Final Fantasy game? That
Yeah.
sounds good to me. That's like right in line with like Resident Evil 4, where that was and stuff like that. It's like, which was a
What
multi-plat
they needed
game.
to do was put it on PS4 as well.
Sure.
Have that skew if that's the case. If they
Yeah.
needed it to be that much more.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. I don't know
For
what they
it
expect.
being a PS5 exclusive and having that limited audience that was around probably 35 million when the game actually
Something
came
like
out,
that.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, having that sort of attach rate, that's good to me. That sounds great, actually. And it's just, maybe you should have launched that PC at the same time. That probably would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you couldn't have worked out that deal with PlayStation. That would have made a lot more sense to me to also launch a PC at the same time. But yeah, I
Then
don't know.
hurry up and make the PC version and hurry up and make the Xbox version.
Yeah. Who knows? Square, they're just a frustrating company. It's just like being
They are.
unhappy with sales like that. It's like, I also don't. Final Fantasy's a huge name. Don't get me wrong, but it's not
It's not premier. It's not as premier as I think people think it is.
yeah, definitely not. It's not. It's not a 10 million seller.
I think people like
Maybe
they're
over
skewed.
time it could get there, but like it's not a out the gate 10 million seller. This thing's taking over the world.
Yeah, I think some people have some like skewed perspective on what is premium in games. What sells.
Yeah.
Like their games just like Zelda was never premium in terms of its sales until the two Switch games, and that's
Yeah.
mostly because of the Switch.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Zelda, I would think. Right.
Mhm. Yeah, I
So
mean,
it's
go
like
look at all of Nintendo's properties. Really, all of them were because of the Switch.
except for Mario.
Yeah, except Mario. But because of the Switch, all of those IPs got a huge bump in whatever their Switch iteration was. You look at the latest Kirby game, even Metroid Prime Remastered is already the highest selling Metroid game, and stuff like that. It's just,
Same with Dread.
yeah, the power of the Switch. And then like you were saying with premier titles, a lot of those are just today they're multiplayer games, majority of them. There's a lot of single player games that get really high up there. You look at Elden Ring and stuff like that. It's those sell really high, but it's like a lot of them are your Diablo 4s, your Call of Duties, stuff like that get to those numbers
on
that it
every
sounds like
platform.
Square Enix wanted. Yeah, and on everything, right? Including last gen at this point. So
PC's growing and huge as a platform, then obviously PlayStation's huge, and something like Call of Duty and Diablo really don't have Switch ports yet, but I feel like under this new Xbox ownership, you'll probably get a lot of those ports to Nintendo, I would assume.
yeah. Yeah, at some point. So it's just, I don't know, man. Square's just in a very interesting place right now. It's
They got to figure out how to be porting these games everywhere. That's really the problem.
Yeah, they got to do that, and it's like,
This was
and they seem happy
first
about other things. Like they seem really happy about the Pixel remastered of the old Final
for
Fantasy
Octopath.
games. That's
Seems to be fine.
yeah, Octopath seemed to be fine when it was out the gate. That landed in the top 10 for that month, and then a couple of months after. So like, I think they had their expectations in check for both of those things. It was just FF16. I think they were really expecting to like take over the world, and it did
Because of
great,
how
but it's not as good as they wanted.
yeah, it took way too long to make, and it took way too much money to make.
Yeah,
So something's got to give, right?
right.
Take less time to make the game. That's
Should have
got to
been
be
a
big.
linear game. I stand by that.
Yeah, it should have been. Yeah. Maybe be more Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly seems like they're going all in on Final Fantasy VII. They really like that property. I assume Final Fantasy VII sells a bit more. Although these numbers were on par with Final
Well,
Fantasy VII
also, it was an
Remake.
exclusive.
Yeah, yeah. And
Because it was PS4, and it had more at the time.
yeah, right. At the time, PS4, I mean, that was 2020 PS4's life cycle. So that was the last year of its life cycle without PS5 on the market. So there was just hella PS4s out there. But this game was on par with, I think, Final Fantasy VII Remake was 4 million throughout the week. So yeah, they are on par with all that. Yeah, and it's Square being Square. Stick to Kingdom Hearts. Just make Kingdom Hearts games endlessly, because that's all we really need. Just Kingdom Hearts. Just become a Kingdom Hearts company, because those sell. Those fucking sell. Let me tell you. Last year's Game of the Year nominee, Stray, is getting an animated movie of some sort. This is being developed by Annapurna themselves. I don't know if they're teaming up with some sort of movie company or something like that, or some sort of animation studio. But nonetheless,
I didn't really see.
Stray is getting. I think they said. Let me click in here. I think
Yeah,
they
that's what I was
said
gonna
it's
do.
mostly going through them, but I'm not
Interesting.
entirely sure. So yeah, that's a very interesting choice. Obviously, Stray came out. It was a very popular for a indie game last year. They ended up getting a Game of the Year nominee and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, so let's see in here.
Oh, so it's
Animation.
Annapurna
Oh,
animation.
okay.
So they're just going through
Annapurna
Annapurna.
spreading out here, making their
Yeah.
own movies and whatnot. That's interesting.
Well,
And
they do movies and stuff, right?
do they?
This was them tapping into games.
Oh,
I
okay.
think
What
that's where they
movies have they
started.
made?
I'm not 100% sure. I think they're like indie
Hmm.
stuff, but I'm pretty sure they started as movies and then came to games.
That would make a lot of sense for the type of company Annapurna is. Nonetheless, Stray, getting a movie adaptation. What do you think of this?
I I mean, do you want me to be honest?
Yeah.
I could not care less. This is what an average video game. Had some cool aspects, but a very like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 kind of average video game. Why do we need a game or a movie out of an average video game? So we're gonna make an average movie out of an average video game? Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic.
But Daniel, what if I told you Tom Holland played the cat?
Whoa, this is becoming 9 out of 10. Let's go, baby.
I just elevated this shit.
I mean, he needs to be everything.
What if it's like that Cats movie and it's just people in a cat costume?
Oh, is the robot Chris Pratt?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, the
Of
robot's
course,
Chris Pratt.
of course.
Why not? Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this game either, so I don't really care too much either, but hey, whatever. You want to make some cute animated movie about a cat? I'll probably watch it, I didn't even really pick up on what the story was of Stray, if I'm being honest. So I remember like the cat getting lost or some shit. And it was like a really sad opening. You remember that? It was like raining and he like fell down a sewer or some shit.
Yeah, you like slide down and it's
Yeah.
like a weird scene for that game.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Should have been a 3D platformer. I'm telling you, man. I would have killed it if this game was a 3D platformer. But
That's what I wanted.
that's all we
This
wanted.
game was
That's
just
all we
whatever.
wanted. I just wanted
Not
a
even-
wacky 3D platformer when you play as a cat.
Some sort of weird walking simulator.
That's
type
what it
game.
was. It was a cat walking simulator with like light puzzle mechanics. That's all that game was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I look forward to the casting information about this movie.
Who plays the cat?
Other
Garfield.
than that,
I get Garfield.
it's like the live action Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then you're on next news story. The full roster for Mortal Kombat 1 has been leaked. Has not been announced. Was leaked ahead of its release date on September 19th, which I believe is next week. 2
Really?
weeks. We're almost there.
It's like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Or a week and a
Not
half,
next
so.
Tuesday, but the Tuesday after.
Yeah.
There you go. Danielle, I know you're a huge Mortal Kombat fan.
Oh yeah, baby, let's go.
What are you thinking of this roster?
I actually didn't look at it.
You
I'll
didn't
do it
look
live
at
in the
it.
show
Okay,
then. No, I'll
okay.
do it live in the show.
Live reaction here.
It's
Megan
it's coming
Fox
out
is
so
in it. I'll tell you
quick.
that.
Yeah, that's true. They did officially announce that one. It's coming out so quick. I was just like, I don't. Do I really need to see?
You'll see
All
it
right.
soon enough.
So Insider Gaming, shout out to them. I'll just read them.
Yeah.
How about that? You got Liu Kang, Raiden. Raiden is more Metal Gear Solid. Raiden, Scorpion Sub Zero, Johnny Cage, Kung Lao, Katana, Nitara, which Nitara, I'm pretty sure that was Megan Fox, right?
I think so.
Nitara,
Yeah, she's like doing the voice
all
of
the
that one.
wings.
Yeah.
Melina, Kenshi, Smoke, Rain, Lee May. Pretty much all of those except for Nitara, I think, have been announced. Then Tanya, I think Tanya was announced as well. Baraka, Jiris, Reptile, Ashra, Havoc, Sindel, General Shao, and Reiko, which is one I think the only one I don't recognize.
Do you know which ones are new characters? Like, are you familiar enough to name
Every
the new
one of these
characters?
characters, I have to look at Reiko or Rico,
Yeah.
Reiko. I have to look at that character, but every other character has been in a Mortal Kombat game before.
Okay. Is Mortal Kombat
None of
not
these are
big
brand
on
new.
like introducing new
No,
characters?
11 had brand new. 11 had the villain, Jiris, which is in this game, was brand new, and then there's the Century girl or whatever, whoever that was also brand new. So there
Okay.
were like 3 brand new characters last game. I mean, X had that kid group.
Yeah.
Cassie and what's the guy Takeda? He's a DLC guy. He was new. Like I don't remember if they did in 9 though. I think 9 because it was a reboot. They kind of just brought a bunch of characters back. This is bringing characters back even from like that Xbox era. The like Deception and Armageddon and like Havoc is pretty cool. So is what's her name? Ashura. She was pretty cool.
Okay. Well, yeah, full roster coming out next week or 2 weeks, whatever. Is this something you're gonna make time for immediately?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll fit it in.
Okay, cool.
I mean, the story's not going to take me long.
Yeah, no. I mean, how long could it be?
Maybe 2 nights at the most.
Yeah. How long could it be? Like 4 or 6 hours at most.
Yeah, I think 11 was 5 hours for me. Something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Moving on then. I'm just realizing, Daniel, we totally skipped over the 2 paid DLC part for Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, did we? Because we were just complaining about the sales.
Yeah. Let's talk about that real quick. 2 paid DLCs. So I'm assuming we're getting for Final Fantasy 16. We're doing a weird jump back, but so yeah, I'm assuming these are going to be bigger expansions or just some sort of sizable DLC for this game. So I don't know exactly what we would want out of those. I felt like it was a pretty complete story overall. I guess there's some places where they could fill in with some more answers of lore and like what exactly happened in the story. But I feel like it was a pretty complete story by the time I roll credits on it.
Yeah, I'm not a big DLC person.
Yeah.
I don't care usually. Like, put it in the game or save it for the next game. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I am. But yeah, I mean, what are you really gonna do? You're gonna have a DLC about Sid? You play as Sid?
That's what I'm wondering. Do we do DLCs where you play as different characters throughout different points of the timeline? That could be cool.
Yeah,
But
or
like Sid would be cool. I mean, that's a cool idea if I'm being honest.
the only 2 characters I could see you being and playing as really is you're gonna play as Sid doing like old stuff, Sid like or you're gonna be Joshua when he's off doing Joshua stuff.
Ooh, I like that. Not Jill.
I mean, I guess you could.
Yeah, you could
when she's
somewhere
like
in
doing
there.
her stuff with
Yeah.
like trying to save the girls and stuff, but I don't know.
The Joshua one's a good idea because there was a whole point of that timeline where I'm like, what the fuck was Joshua doing exactly?
Yeah. But do they? Okay, spoilers.
Yeah.
Like, how does Clive see him at the beginning of the game?
Say that again?
How's Clive see him at the beginning of the game?
Oh yeah. When he's in the hood, yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
I thought it was a Kingdom Hearts member. I was like, oh wow, Organization
Yeah,
13's here.
Organization 13 showing up in
What are they doing
16.
here? Wow, that's gonna be a
They're
crazy
gonna they're
twist
gonna
at the end of
answer
this
that
game.
in 4 in Kingdom Hearts 4.
Oh, that'd be fucking cool. That'd be fucking. See, now you're talking about language.
Yeah.
That is very odd because there was just a
Wait a
hooded figure
second.
right
Did
in the beginning of the
you write
game.
this game?
It's no more all along,
But seriously, yeah. Like, did they ever really answer that?
No,
I can't
no.
think of
There
like
was
why
there
did
was
he
no
see him?
reason he was there. Especially considering that would have been an older version of him when
Yeah,
the younger version of him was like literally 5 feet
was
away.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe they could answer that question. There's some weird time travel going on with Josh or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm down for the Sid DLC. That sounds cool. You could do a lot with that as this sort of a prequel era type thing.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
leading up to when he meets
Yeah. And Sid
Clive.
was yeah, I mean since we're spoiling the game, he died too early. He should have died way later in that game because he was a cool character. It was a really good moment I thought when Sid died, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was just a bit too early because he was such a good character.
Yeah. All right. And spoilers.
And
But yeah,
spoilers.
I'm not gonna play any of this to be honest. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have too much of an interest either in playing it. It's really like the game, but it wasn't something that I'm like craving to go back to. So I probably wouldn't be too into it anyways. Unless it sounds super cool story wise, If they get something that piques my interest, then maybe I'll get into it.
yeah.
Okay. Moving on from Mortal Kombat and Final Fantasy then. Where were we? Our last news story. Something is going on with E3. I didn't put this news story in. Danny, what the hell's going on with E3? Let's see.
Reed Pop
Okay.
is no longer working with the ESA
Oh, okay.
in
ReedPop and
neutral state.
ESA part ways over E3. Gotcha. Now, was ReedPop they own E3 or something like that?
No,
Were
no,
they the
that's
ones that
ESA.
recently bought? Okay, so ESA owns it. What did ReedPop do
But Reed
exactly?
Pop partnered with them.
Uh-huh.
We talked about this story. Was it last year? They were gonna do this year's E3, and it kind of fell through or whatever. But Reed Pop is PAX. They're the PAX people.
Okay.
So they were gonna do, I guess, a version of E3, and had a deal with the ESA to do that. And then it kind of fell through. People were like, it was coming up to the time, and there wasn't a lot of information, and it didn't really seem like, and then they just couldn't do it. So, yeah, I guess they both had different ideas for what they wanted E3 to be, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
And they just were like, all right, we're just gonna split our own ways. And I don't know what's the ESA gonna do now? They're gonna just, I don't know.
That's the question, right? It's like, what is E3 now? Even it's like, is E3 even a thing now? It's because we know next year's canceled, right? That's official. And then they said they're coming back in 2025, right? Or was that 2026? So
I don't remember.
yeah, no one even knows anymore. I think they don't even know, and that's the problem. It's just E3 is just that bad. It's gone. It's no longer a thing, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, this thing is dead in the water. It's just the whole ship is going down sinking here, and there's no helping it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess unless they really, it will never happen, but they'd like actually work with
Yeah,
Jeff Keighley
they would
about.
have to do that and combined it with Summer Games Fest in some way, and then like that would be the only way it could come back. But why would Keeley ever do that? Unless you guys are offering him some extraordinary amount of money.
I mean, I would assume the name still has cachet, right?
Yeah, certainly little, but as the years go on, that's gonna slowly fade away, right?
It will. I mean, it probably will take a while,
Yeah,
but yeah, you're not necessarily wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
maybe
'Cause
it's like
I still have my criticism with like Summer Game Fest. It's
yeah,
like we've talked about this before. Of like, yeah, it's great. Jeff's doing a good job, and I appreciate Jeff, but it's like, man, you're not even a fraction of what E3 was.
yeah, yeah. That's
Like,
certainly
he
not
loves
perfect
dunking
either.
on. Yeah, I mean he's getting good numbers, but he loves dunking on E3 every time. Like he did it with this too. When this story came out, he immediately was like, "Oh, next June, whatever, Summer Game Fest." It's like, man, Jeff, you love dunking on like E3 all the time, but it's like, man, you're not even a fraction of what they were doing.
Yeah, you
So
gotta wonder if there's a bit of bad blood there. Something happened between
it's
them
what
and
it
Jeff.
feels like. It
Yeah,
feels
at
like
least
he
on
just
Jeff's side a little bit, right?
wants to keep trying to, kick the E3 while they're down, right? But I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, it's dead. You know, maybe the best case scenario would be E3 just maybe they shrink like a lot and like don't even do press conference anymore and really do just become a PAX, which I guess these guys pulling out doesn't help that case at all, but like really just become a gaming convention where you just go around and showcase other people's games and don't even do press conferences and all that. I don't know. Maybe that's not a good idea either. So, yeah, I don't know how to fix this or if there even is a way to fix this at this point. But
I
yeah,
mean, I guess the way to do it is turn it into some sort of like direct, like a Nintendo Direct thing.
hmm
Like, okay, we're not gonna have a big E3 booths and all that, but like turn it into like an announcement show. Like
yeah,
have
go the
like
opposite direction.
yeah, have like two of them a year maybe. Try to get everyone to come as much as you can. It's like, okay, do kind of what Jeff does at the Summer Game Fest with like having it be a banner of like, oh, whatever, whoever wants to be here. Ubisoft, you could do your forwards and have it be under us. Do that. Okay, Nintendo, you want to do a little direct here with us? Put it in our E3 direct. Xbox loves working with EA or E3. Show something. We'll just do it in a big little mini showcase that'll be just streamed everywhere. How about that? Or something like that.
That'd be
I
cool
don't know if
too.
there's a
But
lot of more
then,
money in that, but
yeah, then you get into the whole. Do those guys even want to? Because why would they when they could just do it themselves? You know, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just it's a tough situation. You know.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for the news of the week. We'll now move on to what we've been playing. Daniel, let's start with you, bud.
Sure.
What have you been
Um,
playing? I want to hear about Armored Core. I've
yeah.
not heard anyone talk about Armored Core.
Um, yeah, so I'm not too sure how much I put into Armored Core. Maybe 10 hours, maybe
Okay.
something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I think I'm at the final um mission for the first chapter, I think is what they call them, or acts or chapters. I think there's 5 chapters. I think Nick in our Discord was saying. Um, yeah, I really like the game a lot. I think it's a super cool video game. It's very stylish. It just oozes style and mech, like really cool mech combat. It doesn't feel as good as like a From game does, I think, but it still feels pretty good. I think where it loses it for me is the camera gets a little wonky.
Interesting.
Like you got to be moving really quickly a lot, especially with the dashes or like the you also have like a big thrust, like basically Uber boost, and you can get in really quick.
Is there
But
like a dash mechanic, sort of?
yeah, you
Yeah.
can dash side all directions. You can
Okay.
also just fly up, and then there's also like a super boost that'll like go. Um, and yeah, the camera just gets a little funky where you're really trying to move very quickly, like a Bloodborne, but like it's a little faster than Bloodborne. But the camera I just don't think keeps up in a
Interesting.
good way.
Now, are
Yeah,
you like flying in this game constantly? Like, are you
you
fighting
can
enemies
be.
like below you and above you and to the sides and all that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can be flying all the time if you want. Like
Yeah.
there are legs that are better at like hovering, so you could be like hovering and doing all that.
Okay.
But it's really about your build and stuff. Like if you get the tank treads, you're really probably not gonna be hovering all the time. You're probably gonna be like using heavy weapons and stuff like that. But like you are fighting enemies everywhere. It is a little scattered compared to like a From game where you're kind of a little more grounded, right? Like you are fighting archers, but like
Could you approach it like that though? Like stay on the ground consistently, and then or do you kind of have to be flying at all
you
times?
kind
Not
of
at
have
all
to fly
times,
a
but
little bit
a
to
little
get
bit.
angles,
Uh huh.
but like you don't really need to be flying too much. Like even the tank treads could like hover a bit and stuff, but like
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just from the gameplay I've seen. It looks very like there's just shit going on everywhere.
there
You're like
is.
constantly moving around and going up, down to the sides and all that.
Yeah, it's very bullet helly a lot of times.
Okay.
Like the boss that I'm at right now is very bullet helly. There's a lot of missiles flying at you and stuff. Um, I'm kind of slowing on the game a bit. I don't really
Interesting.
know how much I'm going to continue the game, as
Yeah.
much as I like the game. Um, it's just not. I don't know.
Not
It's
clicking
not.
100%.
Maybe it's where I'm at right now with it. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I'll probably leave it installed. Maybe it'll come back at some point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's not like I really enjoy the game, but it's not like a regular From game for me.
Yeah.
Especially being last year, I don't know. Now I'm just a From Software fan, but you know, the customization is where I think you're going to spend a lot of time in. Like
Mhm.
they really want you to, not necessarily like your colors and all that. Like that is added. Like you could do that, but
Yeah,
the actual
I've seen people making some crazy shit. Yeah.
there is some really cool ones. Yeah,
Yeah. The Nick who's been on the show, he's posting all his pictures and he's just
yeah,
making shit out there. I'm like, damn, this dude's really going for it with these
yeah.
fucking
Nick had
robots.
a little hammer, the Nerdic God hammer on his mech, which was pretty cool.
That's dope.
Um, but yeah, like so there's customization for what you look like, but there's also customization for um like your individual parts,
Hmm.
right? So you have not only do you have four parts for your mech itself, you have four guns, four weapons. Then there's like a few other like I think there's like six other pieces that you attach, like boosters and um other like little slots you put into. But you have like basically eight main parts to the mech. You have like your left and your right gun or weapon. Then you have like two on your back. And then for your like mech itself, you have a headpiece, arm pieces, um, a chest piece, and then legs.
Okay. And those are all like shield things, those aren't weapons, right?
No, they're just your actual mech
Your
design.
actual parts, okay.
Yeah.
And then like you said you got
So
the two on the back. Are those like
yeah,
sort of cannons that you would shoot enemies with or something?
a couple of different things.
Yeah.
Like the ones I've been rocking most of the time. I want to get one to be like a rail gun, but I've been just using kind of just missile launchers.
On the
So like
back,
I'll
yeah.
hit the bumpers and it'll shoot like four missiles each. Um,
This sounds
and
cool.
that kind
So
of
could you
charge.
do like a sword in one hand and then a
You
Gatling gun
start
in
with
the other
one.
hand? Yeah.
I haven't seen a Gatling gun.
Or just like some type of assault
I
rifle or
have.
some
That's
shit
what
on
you
there.
start with.
Yeah.
Yeah, a regular assault. It's not like a pure sword. It is. It like comes out and then you can do like one slash or like two if you hit it a second time, but then it recharges. So it's not like something. It's not like a pure melee weapon.
Okay, you can't just
It
start
is.
hacking and slashing.
No, it is on like a cooldown. So it's something you kind of want to time, and like if somebody has like a plasma shield or something, you can go and try to break the shield, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Um, I was using a bazooka for a while on my sword hand, um, but the my build that I had, shooting the bazooka would stagger me for a second. It would like slow me, shoot it, and then I can move again. Sometimes you get hit when you're doing that, but I want to try a few other builds. But like I'm kind of this mission like leads to a boss. It's just really tough. So there's not a ton of experimenting I can do, but um, I kind of want to get through that mission and try experimenting a little bit more, with, like being a little heavier, like trying to get the tank treads and like maybe two bazookas or something, and just try to pure damage. See if I can barrel through the game that way.
How
Um,
are the boss fights? Like, have you done a lot of them?
I've done a few.
Few.
There are
Okay.
some more like mini bosses that I fought so far. I think
Sure.
I fought the tutorial boss, one other boss, and then this boss. So I think this would be like the third boss ish that I fought. There
Okay.
are like other named people that are more mini bossy. Like on this mission that I'm on for this big boss, like there is a mini boss right before it. It's like another like armored core user. You like kill him. Um, but yeah, the game is set up mission based. Um, it isn't a normal From game. You're not like kind of these interconnected like Metroidvania like interweaving parts of the map. It's not like that at all. And it isn't just pure linear too. It is some of them are a little open because of how the mechs are designed. You kind of need to be flying around, so they're pretty open and but you have
Yeah,
like a
it looks
mission
like big
objective.
spaces for
Yeah,
the
they're
most part. Yeah, just because you're
pretty big
moving around so
spaces.
much. Yeah. Are
Um,
any of like the From Soft Souls games peeking through a little bit? Like when you play the boss fights or anything like that? Like does it
with the
feel
boss
slightly
fights
like those?
more
Yeah.
than anything else. When you're doing a normal mission, some enemies kind of feel like it, but it's like when you get a boss, you're circling around a boss like you normally would.
Right.
But it's like maybe take a mix of a From Software boss, like take that, and then take like a Returnal type boss
Okay.
or like a Bullet Hell. So fuse that. That's kind of what it's been like for me so far.
Kind of how
Where
it
like
plays.
you kind of get a lot of more weapons being fired at you, so you got to be quicker and dodging a lot. It's not like your From Software boss. It does have a different taste.
So, yeah, this game looks awesome. I really want to get into it. It's just too many games coming out. But at some
Yeah,
point this year, I might
maybe
have to
check it
jump into
out.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it might click for you more than maybe it's clicking for me.
Yeah.
Um, I think its cool factor and its style and its graphics and all of that just is just impeccable. Like From's design, software design, like their design team is just awesome.
Yeah.
It's just there's just something about the game that's just not fully
The
like,
world design's on another level at FromSoft.
oh, it's just it always is, dude. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Does the story seem cool? I've actually heard people talking about the story a little bit, and people are saying it's pretty cool.
Yeah, maybe I'm not that far into it when it gets to the other chapters. Like
Yeah.
there was like a little bit into this final mission that I'm in for the chapter one that it's starting to tease some other things.
Okay.
So like I don't know where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
In this kind of intro bit, you're kind of like a mercenary that like drops in this planet, and you're trying to like the first thing you're trying to do is get like steal someone's mercenary like ID. So you like find a destroyed mech and you like take his identity basically. And then you have like a guy called Handler Walter. It's like in your ear all the time. He's the one going out and giving you missions and stuff. Um, but it is a
Walter.
lot of like, yeah, Walter. He's
Quirky
actually a
name.
really cool voice though. You should listen to Walter's voice. It's very cool. Um, yeah, and you're like getting these like little snippets of like these different factions and stuff that these different companies that are working on Rubicon and stuff. But like I'm not fully sure where it's going yet.
Okay. Yeah, sounds cool, man. I really want to check that game out. There's a couple games where I'm like, I have my must plays, and then there's like a couple where I'm just like, okay, I want to try those before the end of the year just to see if I can get into it. Armor Core, Baldur's Gate, I want to try, and a couple others.
Definitely want to
So
play Baldur's Gate.
Sea of Stars as well. I'd probably put in that
Yeah, I want to play
category.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so definitely one of those. You've been playing anything else then?
I've played such a small part of Starfield. Not even an hour, probably. I mean, you could probably tell like how much I've played. I've made my character, and then I did the kind of tutorial, and then I got to
Did you get on
uh
the ship?
got on the ship, did like the tutorial of like fighting a few ships,
Okay.
and then I got to New Atlantis.
Okay.
Like right in
Yeah.
front of the lodge, basically.
Yeah,
That's where
I would say that's pretty much like
not
the
even an
end
hour.
of the tutorial section. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably right where it ends. I've also been playing Starfield. I don't know how many hours I'm in. A lot, I guess.
Probably a lot. It's been
Probably
a
a
week you
lot.
played the
It's
game.
probably a lot. Yeah, I've been playing it an endless amount. I'm level 20, so if that
Okay.
if that helps
You can
you all.
level three, two,
Three,
two.
yeah, you level up pretty quick, so I guess I'm not like super far, but yeah, thus
So
far,
is
man.
there level scaling real quick? Does it get more XP as you go?
Yeah, like it
Okay.
definitely you need more and more XP to level
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, over time for sure. Yeah, it's not just that you won't be leveling up that quickly. The later levels you go in, but I heard there's no level cap, so
Yeah.
that's interesting to me. That's I can't remember the last. I
There's a
don't
lot
know
of
if
perks.
Fallout 4 had a level cap. I know Skyrim definitely has a level cap at 50. Fallout 3 does too. I can't remember 4 if it did, but yeah, there are a ton of perks. I feel like I
A
haven't
lot of
even like
perks.
dug that deeply into the perks because like I
Yeah,
kind
there's
of
like
just want
layers to it.
yeah, I want like all the base ones, and like a lot of them, like like you can't steal until without a perk, so and that's just like a very base level
Oh,
Bethesda game
really?
thing. Yeah, so it's like you can't pickpocket. No, you could steal, but you can't pickpocket. So without the perk, so
Oh.
yeah, it's
Is there a pickpocketing perk? Man, I need to dive more into these perks.
yeah, and it's just like yeah, I felt like unlike a lot of other Bethesda games, you needed a lot of the perks to get just the base level things like that. So I was kind of just going through and getting all those base level perks. But yeah, thus far, man, this game is just like it's kind of like everything you would want in just like a fantasy sci-fi thing. You know, it's got just like a little bit of everything. I feel like I've like done so many like cool space stories that you've wanted to do so far. You know, I joined a gang for a second. You know, a space gang on Neon. I sold drugs for this guy. That was cool. What else have I done? I went on a cruise ship in space. That was really cool. Yeah, met a
What?
bunch of rich people. Yeah, yeah. It's just that's what I'm saying. It's just like they just got like everything you could want to do in space just built into a quest somewhere out there, and you just gotta
I've
kind of
not
find
heard about
it.
a cruise ship.
Yeah, there was a cruise. It was just like one mission, but it was just really cool because it was just like a full blown cruise ship, and I was like, wow, this is what cool. It's just in space. You could like look down, and there was like window floors, and you could like see the planets below you. It was a really cool touch. But yeah, thus far, I would say the opening was very slow. It
I
was
didn't find it unless I'm still in the opening. I didn't find it that
yeah, you're
slow.
kind of still in the opening. I don't know. It's
Okay.
just Bethesda Game Studios. The most of their openings are a bit more memorable than that. I would say. You know, like
Yeah,
yeah, Skyrim with the whole dragon thing, and you gotta escape
yeah.
that dragon. Fallout 3 with the vault, and you gotta get out of the vault and all that. And in Fallout 4, you like watch your parents get killed in front of you right away, or at least your mom. And you know, I would just say it was probably Bethesda's like least memorable opening, but still good opening nonetheless. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the game this far. It feels very Bethesda, you know. It's unsurprisingly right, like it does. When Todd Howard said this is Skyrim in space, he wasn't kidding. It really does just feel like Skyrim in space, which is a good thing, depending on who you are. I think maybe a lot of other people were expecting something different, but I certainly wasn't. It's definitely meeting my expectations on that standpoint
I
thus
want
far.
Bethesda to make Bethesda games.
Exactly. And yeah, and I think people that wanted them to go like above and beyond, maybe not quite getting that, but I still think it's a very good game thus far. Especially with all the stuff you're doing, man. It's just the main story is really awesome so far. I'm probably like over halfway through the main story, if I had to
Okay.
guess. And yeah, it's just super interesting. I don't want to like spoil anything, but yeah, the places they go with the main story are just like unexpected and interesting. And you know, the kind of the thing about the whole style of the world, just in general, it feels very like realistic, you know, like you could actually see a future where things look like this, you know. And
Yeah.
you know, maybe not so much with how many different planets humanity is on, but certainly with like just the way shit looks and the way spaceships look and like the way like lockers are designed and stuff like that. It's not like super like dystopia futuristic. It's just kind of like you could see a point where humanity evolves to where everything looks like this, you know. And I think that's really cool. It's a really unique thing, especially like I'm watching like Ahsoka right now, you know, and which is another sci-fi thing, and that's just like completely the opposite direction of like where that's just like super fantasy and super, you know, while they're both sci-fi, it's just a very different lane for sci-fi stuff. I think more like Firefly when you think of this than Star Wars.
Yeah, Firefly's a good. Yeah, that's probably like a good
I saw that on Twitter somewhere, so I didn't come
comparison.
up with that. But
Sure.
not well, just that the comparison to Firefly. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So what do you,
we'll go more in those lanes.
I want to go back to like when you were picking your character. So like, I want to know like your class and then your traits. So my class, I end up just picking the kind of a basic scoundrel. It had pretty much all three of those perks I was pretty good with. I wanted one that had persuasion, and piloting seems very useful. I feel like I'm gonna pilot a lot. And then pistols, I always like pistols, even though I'm probably gonna use other weapons. So those three seem pretty good. And then the traits that I chose the adoring fan. Got to have that stupid little smiling fan. I haven't met him. And then I chose a dream home. I wanted I wanted a house, so why not?
That's actually a very good one for at least. I wish I chose that one.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. That's good. I picked that. And then I chose the extrovert, so I get like more health and I think oxygen when I have
yeah.
a companion. So that's what I picked.
I'm right there with you pretty much. Actually, I chose Space Scoundrel as well. I also
Okay,
really want to persuade people. I put a lot of points. I'm already at like level 3 with the persuasion one
good.
already.
That's what I'm gonna
So
be doing as much as
yeah,
possible.
yeah, I love it. Even when I failed, the persuasion mechanic is actually very cool. I don't know if you've done any yet. Probably
Just
not,
the
but
tutorial one.
just the tutorial one. Yeah. So you like you get points when you're trying to persuade someone, but like you could also piss them off, and it could completely end the persuasion. So like a 5 point persuasion might really piss the person off, or it make you like it's implying that you're saying something like negative towards them, but just trying to convince them of whatever thing you're trying to persuade them of. And sometimes that could go too far and piss them off and just end the whole persuasion. Or you could go with a lower tier 1.1 that's like a bit nicer and probably not going to end the whole persuasion thing, but it also might not advance your persuasion points enough to the point where you'd actually persuade them. So it's like a really cool mechanic that they added into that that I'm actually liking quite a bit. I do just reload anytime a persuasion fails, so I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck that. I want to see what the hell the persuasion
Yeah,
gets. Plus, you get XP when one completes. So I'm just like, well, I quick save all the time, and anytime you walk through a door, it auto saves. So I'm just gonna reload anytime I fail a persuasion.
I I hope that I can get through as much of this game like I did with Outer Worlds.
Yeah,
Like Outer
just
Worlds,
talking.
I did all those talk skills, and I basically talked my way the entire game. I fought so little in Outer Worlds, and I know I'm gonna have to probably fight a little bit more in Starfield, but I would like to try to talk my way through as much as possible.
Yeah, I would say you're definitely gonna have to fight more, especially on like side things. But like when you're
Yeah.
doing a faction or the main quest, I would think you could talk your way through a lot of that. You know, I've seen
Okay.
quite a few of the persuasion options pop up, and you know, pretty much anytime I'm doing a quest, one of them pops up. So yeah, and you can also get a perk to bribe instead of persuade. So you
Mm.
could do that as well. There's a lot of ways to go about that. But yeah, I wanted to be a space scoundrel as well. To the point I named my character Han Solo. I like
No, you did
that. Hell yeah, I
not.
did. Hell yeah, I did. The robot Vasco. Anytime you're at your ship, he's like, "Hello, Mister Solo."
He does say Mr. Solo.
He
He
does.
actually says
Solo's
my
in the
name.
name.
I just
Navaroli's
named
in it.
no, I named Daniel.
Oh, Daniel. Okay, gotcha,
And
gotcha,
it did
gotcha,
say
gotcha.
he when he first said it, I was like, okay, let's
Yeah,
go. You said my name.
that was cool. I kind of wanted to put Knowles just to see if they had it, but maybe they would, maybe they wouldn't. They certainly would have had
Did they
Connor if
publish
I
the
had to bet.
list? Yeah, they
Maybe.
probably have Connor.
Yeah, there's probably a published list out there somewhere if I had to guess.
Yeah, I'd
So,
like to know like because I think like Forza Horizon does that, or the Forza series. They have like you can put your name and they'll actually say it too.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, I've been kind of playing that part. I know Greg Miller like really suggested you like really highly role play this game when you're playing through it. So I was, you know, I kind of been leaning into that a bit more instead of just like doing whatever the fuck I wanted. I kind of had been leaning more towards like that space scoundrel type of mindset with the way I'm talking to people and stuff like that. You know, just kind of being a little smart ass space guy. I'm having a lot of fun with that.
You just randomly shoot people.
Not random, no, not like that. Like you know, like Han Solo a little bit, you know. I like to like talk my way out of scenarios, or if I gotta
Yeah,
shoot my way out, then you gotta shoot your way out. Always looking out for like number one, you know, trying to get the most money possible for
I'm
me.
number one.
I'm number
Yeah.
one, yeah, yeah, trying to go about it that route. I have been bothered by everyone saying you need to get to New Game Plus, you know, or a lot of games media saying that because
Sure.
like you know, apparently something happens with New Game Plus where you get
It's
something.
been bothering Sloan as well so
I
much.
bet, because I think Salone, when I was talking to him a little bit on Discord yesterday, I think he's probably got a similar mindset to me, where like I want this one profile, I want to do everything I possibly can in this one profile, and make it just like this crazy save where where by like the end of my playthrough, I have like so many credits I don't know what to do with. I got a shit ton of ships, great outposts, and all that. And but now with everyone recommending that you go to New Game Plus, I'm just like kind of conflicted. So my plan for now is I'm doing the Crimson Fleet faction, which is like the pirate gang.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying that thus far. There's like a lot of really cool quests in that. Some of the better ones that I've seen have been through that. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna finish whatever side quests I kind of want to do. I've done a lot of side quests already, so I don't feel like I need to do like too many more. But if something interesting pops up to me, I'm definitely gonna do it, and then I'm gonna beat the main story, and then I'm just gonna see what the New Game Plus is, because I think you can revert back to your other save. I don't know why you couldn't just reload from whatever the final
Yeah,
mission
I don't
is.
know.
Yeah, and I'll just see what this New Game Plus is, and if it's like really that cool, and then make, because like the idea of doing the whole main story again doesn't really appeal to me, you know.
I mean, you know me.
Yeah, I'm sure it
I
really doesn't appeal
really
to
do
you.
not care about New Game Plus unless like this becomes a different video game.
Yeah,
You know, it's like then why would I want to? Then what was really the point of even this first playthrough? Is what I would say. What's the point? Like
that's what I'm
I don't.
saying, is like what could it possibly be that's so important, that's so cool, that you would want to redo everything. Greg Miller tweeted out that he's on his 5th playthrough. Why? That means you did the main quest 4 times. Like what? Why? What is so cool that carries over? I'm just so curious to see what that actually is.
Yeah, I don't
And
know.
also, I don't think Bethesda would intend for anyone to play like that. Like
Yeah, that
that.
seems like a weird intention.
Yeah, like that. I don't think they did. I think whatever it is, I think it was more of them being like, "Hey, this is another reason for you to play through the game again at some point.
Yeah,
Not right away. And it's like a cool perk that you'll get for beating the game." So I don't know. I'm very curious to see what that actually is. I know even Andrew in our Discord was like, "Yeah, get through the main story." So I just don't know, man.
yeah, I
Uh,
don't think I'm gonna do
yeah,
that.
I definitely want to see what it is. Like, I'm definitely that curious. But yeah, the idea of just playing through everything again doesn't appeal to me at all. And I thought, like, spoiler, there's powers in the game, because of one of the trailers. But I thought it would be like, oh, you don't get the power or powers until the end, and then you could carry that over, and that changes the combat. But I have a fuck ton of powers right now, Daniel. Like, it's just so I
Is
don't
it all through
know.
the main mission?
Yeah, I mean, they eventually get to it eventually becomes like the Skyrim, the dragon powers where like you gotta
Shouts,
go,
yeah.
yeah, the shouts where you gotta go to a dungeon or whatever to get one of them. But yeah, there's 3 that you get through the main quest pretty
Okay.
quickly. So, and then from there you can go off and get more or however many more you want. I think I have like 7 right now, and there seems to be like 20 of them, 25. So.
Oh,
And
wow.
those are really cool. They add a lot to the combat. I would say the combat really clicked once I got the powers more.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're very cool looking. I like the jetpack quite a bit too. I wish it was just like a straight up jetpack sometimes. They could also really use a dash mechanic in this game, like something like Doom, where I can just like, or something like that.
Yeah, that might just be a little too quick for what the game is.
Yeah, but I
Um,
definitely think it's Bethesda's best feeling game thus far, which isn't
yeah, from a
surprising.
little
I
bit of
would
shooting.
definitely
Yeah,
expect it to be that. Yeah, maybe not quite on a level of like Cyberpunk, just another game in the same
Cyberpunk feels
vein.
a little bit better.
Yeah, I would say Cyberpunk definitely handled gunplay a little bit better and made that feel a little bit more fun, but I still like it nonetheless. It's still very addicting, very fun. I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of the dogfights right now. I don't know if it's just because I still just have the base level ship that they give you right away. And I've like upgraded it a little bit, but these ships you can tell are very much like a late game thing where they're very expensive to upgrade. It's very expensive to buy new ships. It's just like a fuck ton of money, and like I've been able to afford a few upgrades here and there, but not really go all out on a ship like I would like to. And so maybe they get more fun when you have all the bells and whistles you would want on the ship, right? But for now, I'm not like super into a dogfight every time I run into one.
Yeah, is there a way to have like passive income in the game
I
where you can
think through
like
the
so you can
outposts, yeah. I think through the
through the
outposts
outpost?
you can
Okay.
you can eventually get there, and because I know there's like cargo trades you can do with your outposts and stuff like that. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming after a while you definitely could. That's another thing with the new game plus. It was like, don't you guys want to experience all of that? Why would you do a whole new game plus when that's there? I don't know. I don't know. The new game plus thing is really bothering me the more I talk about it.
Yeah, yeah. I can't wait to get to playing it. I've been excited for Starfield for a long time. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a really cool game thus far, man. It's just everything you could have wanted out of the
I'm
base
glad you're enjoying it.
Bethesda
Yeah.
RPG. It really is, and maybe it doesn't go above and beyond, but it didn't really need to, in my opinion.
So are you getting as many bugs as like some older Bethesda
Yeah,
stuff?
that's a good question. I have ran into a few of like the Bethesda jank that you would expect. There was like a couple times where like someone's like really close to the camera, and I'm like literally just looking at their nostrils when they're talking. They're like, okay, that's a little weird. A few like clip-ins into walls and stuff like that. I've seen. Your typical jank that you'd see in a giant RPG like this. It is there, but I would say it's definitely the most polished Bethesda game. You can tell that Todd Howard even said without Xbox, they got like, or with Xbox, they got that extra 6 months polish time, right? And that really shows. It's not like this game's crashing on me at any point. the mechanics with everything that's going on with the flying, going in and out of worlds and all that, it works surprisingly well. You know, if I told you Skyrim was gonna have new planets and a spaceship, all of a sudden you'd be like, oh my god, that's gonna be janky as fuck. So
Yeah.
for it to work here is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've noticed it already that there is a lot of like sections of loading.
Yeah.
But like the loads haven't been that long.
Yeah, I know
Um,
that's bothering a lot of people. Like there is, you are fast traveling a lot, and it does
yeah.
load, and the load times are very noticeable for a next gen game. You know, but that
Yeah.
might just be something we're gonna have to just get more and more used to. You know, is load screens coming back and whatnot. But they're not that bad thus far. One thing I did want to shout out was any picture you take through the photo mode, it turns into the load screen. So
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, your pictures will just randomly pop up during the load screens, which I thought was really cool.
I like that. So it saves it some library in the game.
Yeah, I think there is a photo library in the game,
Okay.
somewhere maybe in the main menu. But yeah, so load screens pop up. It's one of your pictures. The first time I saw that, I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
That is very cool. I
Yeah,
like that idea.
yeah. Yeah, I really like the characters thus far too. The every member of Constellation is very interesting. That's like the main group. You'll meet them in a minute.
Yeah, I've only met one.
Yeah,
There.
yeah, you met Barrett. Barrett's actually really cool. He's funny. Yeah, I'm actually really liking a lot of the characters, which isn't something Bethesda's typically known for. You know, there aren't that many memorable characters in Skyrim and Fallout 3 and that and stuff like that. There's a few that stick out here and there, but thus far I've like really come to enjoy every member of Constellation that I've gotten to know. And there's just more out there, right? Like I've met a few of the pirates in the Crimson Fleet, and those characters seem really interesting to me. And you can get a lot more companions in this game than you could in past Bethesda titles, at least from what I've noticed. Like I got like a crew if I want to, you know, like I can just pick out of like, I don't know, probably like 12, 13 people thus far. And I've only done one of the factions. So I'm assuming there's like upwards of 30 people you could make as a companion, which is just
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for in terms of like standout characters, they they will have characters that are really standout-ish, but within their story.
Yeah.
Like there'll just be little stories focused on these characters, and that's kind of it. You don't they're not like these grand overarching characters. That's just not. You're right. That isn't really a Bethesda thing. Like
Yeah. It's
you get
not like
little.
Mass Effect where like the characters are the standout point of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's more about their story and whatever interactions you're getting from them and
Yeah.
like stuff like that. Like
These games are just very much like you live in the world, you know, and you create your own story. I mean, you're obviously doing the quests that they've laid out to you, but it's kind of like even the quests. Like I'm gonna have a completely different experience with quests that you're gonna have with quests and stuff like that. You know, it really does just feel like you ever seen Westworld? Like it really feels
I
like
haven't.
Westworld or stuff. You should watch season 1 of Westworld. Very good. But it really does just feel like that, where you just arrive in the world and there's just like a million different things to do. You can just go talk to this random person, and it might lead you down this whole long, hours long quest line. You know, where something grand happens at the end. You know, and, it's awesome for that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited to see what this main story because that's what I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
Which is actually interesting because like normally with any Bethesda game I've played, I'm like doing all the other stuff. Like as much time as I put into Skyrim, I put like over 200 something hours into Skyrim. Did not complete that story.
Yeah.
I only did like the side stuff in
Yeah.
that game. So
And to
yeah,
this game's credit, I would say the main story thus far has been like probably the most interesting part, and that's
that's awesome.
yeah, it's awesome to hear and it's awesome to see that, right?
Yeah, yeah. The game just oozes a lot of style too.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
do want to reiterate that. Yeah,
Yeah. The
the,
music is fantastic, you know.
that main theme's really good.
Yeah, the main theme's really good. They really do well just good music cues when you're just like on some
Yeah.
random planet, you know, and the music starts playing and you're like, yeah, this is fucking dope. The vibe of the game is just so fucking cool.
Yeah, I like the what do they call it? They call it NASA punk. Is that what they
Yeah.
called it?
Yeah, I think that's the term they were using. And it's like, yeah, that's a cute term. It makes a lot of sense for this. But yeah, I'll let you guys know next week with the whole new game plus thing if I
Okay.
because I should get through it by then. But yeah, I'll let you guys know if it's really that worth it. Which everyone says it is that beat it, so I don't. I'm so curious to see what that actually is. But yeah, I'll let you guys know. All right, Daniel. Do we want to do a character ranking real quick?
If you want, sure.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Let me pull up the ranking. Where are you? There you are.
I think we got a new number one 2 weeks ago. John Marston. Congrats,
We
John
do have a new
Marston.
number one. We do have a new number one. If you'd like to go ahead and pick a character, give me a second so I can find the character.
Okay. Who do I want to pick? Let's think here. Hmm. Do 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 do. Now I can't think of any
Okay,
video
I'll
game
do it then.
characters all of a sudden. Yeah, go ahead.
I am going to choose. We need to. We got so many fighting game characters. We got to start knocking into these fighting game characters. What game's coming out in a week and a half? Mortal Kombat. We've only done one Mortal Kombat character, so we're gonna do the other big Mortal Kombat character, the homie Sub Zero.
Zero. Great in that movie.
Who doesn't love Sub Zero?
Okay. Obviously, iconic status is huge with Sub Zero.
Very huge.
Yeah.
But it's funny that you said that because we're talking about, with definitive ranking, it means a lot of things, right? Iconic status, we've determined it. It's a big factor. He's not more iconic than Scorpion.
No. Yeah, I would agree. He has to go below Scorpion.
He's below Scorpion, which is at 13. So he has to at least he's not that high.
Okay, let's start from there then. What is 14?
Yeah. 14 would be Cal.
Cal
Kestis.
I wouldn't put him above Cal either.
I think it's going to be pretty close. He's going to be right around here, I think. So I'll just name a few characters and you can kind of tell me when to stop. So 14 is Cal Kestis, 15 is Clive Rossfield, 16 is Riku, 17 is Doomslayer, 18 is Chai, 19 is Crash.
Maybe one above Doomslayer?
So you think he's not as good as Riku? So I think I might like him more than Riku.
Do you? Okay, we can go one above Riku.
But is he better than Clive?
Clive was a good character, man. Maybe doesn't quite have that iconic status, especially considering that game just came out. But
yeah, I'm thinking
I'll leave that up to you.
15, 16, 17. We're kind of in that same spot, I think.
Yeah. If you want to go one above Clive, I'm fine with that.
I think I'm with you with Cal. I think I like Cal just a bit more.
Yeah, I like
he's a little more fleshed out of a character.
Yeah, especially after Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, there is some story there with Sub-Zero.
Sure.
Like, I think he has an interesting story, especially with Scorpion. Okay, we'll put him above Riku.
Okay.
Right below Cal.
Cool with that.
Sub-Zero. Do you have a character?
Yeah, let's do Banjo.
Oh, are you doing Kazooie as well?
Did they get paired together? Yeah, I think you got to, right? That's probably one of the ones that have to get paired to Kazooie. Yeah. So obviously iconic status is fucking huge, Banjo Kazooie.
Pretty iconic.
Yeah. I don't know about the games necessarily. I've only ever played the first one.
People like the first two games.
Yeah.
Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people I think like the first one more, but interesting. Okay.
Now in terms of 3D platformer mascots, I would go below Crash with Banjo. I don't know about you.
Oh, I like Crash more than Banjo.
Yeah. So I would say he has to go below
at least
that.
20. Interesting. What about Luigi compared to Banjo? I don't think I like Luigi more.
Comparable, but yeah, I would say Luigi, especially in terms of iconic status, Luigi hasn't beat.
Yeah. Okay, so right below Luigi's at 23, so 24 is Agent 47 from Hitman.
Ooh.
So who's better?
Banjo I'd say Agent 47 is a little bit higher, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll keep going then. Number 25 is Zangief.
I would put him above Zangief. I'll go right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right there then. For 25. Okay. So we don't have we do have a Tekken character. I was gonna try to do a Tekken character. So let's do Heihachi.
Heihachi? Which one is this?
He's the dad.
He's the dad. Let me look up a picture.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Heihachi. Okay. Oh, okay, this guy. Yeah. Okay. Super iconic then, especially in terms of Tekken characters.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you thinking?
It's a good question. Heihachi. Heihachi's got a big iconic status.
for sure. I
Probably
would
the face of
say,
one
I
of the
mean, he's
faces of that
definitely above
franchise.
Zangief, right? So wherever the
Yeah.
hell we had that. But
Zangief is at 26 now.
I would definitely say out of the fighters we were just listing off that he's below them. You know, your Sub Zeros, your Ryu's. I'd say he's below
Yeah,
them
Ryu's really
quite
high
a
up.
bit.
Ryu is, I think, our highest fighting game character.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, he
at
literally
9.
might be the most iconic fighting game character. So
Yeah, I mean Scorpion's close, but
yeah,
yeah. Okay. Heihachi. Let's see. So you think that Sub-Zero is higher than Heihachi? Because I might think Heihachi is higher than Sub-Zero.
really. Okay,
But I
I
don't
was
know if
thinking right around
Heihachi.
that area, but
Okay, I don't know if he's as high as Scorpion, Heihachi, but
no.
I think he might be higher than Sub-Zero.
Okay, I'm cool with that. So where
What
did we
about
just
Clive?
put Sub Zero? Is he above
He's
Clive? Okay.
yeah. So Clive would be above Sub-Zero.
I don't know. Does Heihachi have any story to back him up
Yeah,
a little bit?
there's a weird Tekken story
Weird
to
Tekken
like
lore
those
going on
games with
there?
like
Okay.
he loves throwing his son off of a cliff.
Who
Um,
doesn't?
yeah. We'll put tough.
It's tough. It's tough. These character rankings.
We'll put him one just right above Sub-Zero, one above Sub-Zero.
Okay.
Heihachi.
Fine with that.
Heihachi. Do you have one?
Yeah. Let's do a bigger one. Let's do Kirby.
Whoa!
Do Kirby.
You're swinging for
Let's
the fence.
let's get Kirby. Let's get Kirby, you know. Gotta get Kirby
Oh
in there. Sucking shit up.
boy.
Sucking up them cars, sucking up them vending machines, spitting out cans.
Yeah. Yeah,
Kirby doing a
Kirby's a
lot.
great character.
Kirby's out here, you know. Kirby is a
The
great
Kirby
character. Great character
Kirby's got
design. Very simple, but you know,
yeah,
stuck
effective.
around, been a classic, you know. Um
In terms of power level, is Kirby is confirmed the most powerful character ever, right?
yeah, I think so. In at least in the whole Nintendo sphere, right? I think
And
that's
more
what
than that. I mean, Snake was there, died.
yeah, that's a
I
good point.
mean,
That's a good point.
Sonic died.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Kirby might
That
be the most
star was
powerful.
faster than Sonic, you know, you remember
Yeah.
that?
Kirby might be the most powerful character.
It
Kirby's got a
has
lot of
nothing to
iconic
do
stuff.
with the creator of Smash also being the creator of Kirby, though.
Absolutely not. Why would
Absolutely
you even
not.
insinuate that?
No, I didn't. You know, I just wanted to point out that it has nothing to do with that. Uh, you, you gotta love Kirby. I feel like Kirby's got to be top 10. At
So
least,
number 10
at
is
least where we're
Amicia.
at right now. That's tough, actually. That's tough.
Number 9 is Ryu. Number 8 is GLaDOS. Number 7 is Sonic.
I'm gonna vote one above Amicia and be the new number 10 because I think Kirby still below Ryu. I don't know. Amicia has a great
Honestly,
story, but in terms of iconic status, I feel like you gotta put Kirby just one above her.
I'm looking at one below Sonic.
What is Sonic?
Putting one number 7.
Number seven, interesting.
I want Kirby. I want him at the new number 8.
What is 8 right now currently?
So number 10 is Amicia, number 9 Ryu, number 8 GLaDOS, and then 7 Sonic.
You wanna go above GLaDOS?
Yeah.
I could see it. Okay, I'm down with that.
As much as I like Ryu, I don't know. Kirby, there's just something about Kirby. Maybe it's his character design sticks out more. Something like I don't know. I think that there's just a little bit more to Kirby than a Ryu. As much as I love Ryu, Ryu has a lot of iconic status.
Yeah, I think eventually we're gonna get to the point where it's you know, I think all giant lists get to this point eventually where it's like, why is that one there? Why is that? Because personally, I might put Kirby above Sonic, but below Ryu. But that's just not the way we got it laid out right now. So I'm fine with where it is.
I mean, that's how all these listings
Yeah,
works, right?
exactly. Yeah, it's eventually what's gonna happen. So yeah, I'm fine with
All
that.
right.
Kirby,
We
new
have
number 8.
one more character.
Okay.
New number 8.
You got one?
Yes. We're gonna do Joker from Persona 5,
Ooh,
the main character.
that's a good one. That's a
Persona
good
5.
one.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Hmm.
So you kind of shape Joker into what you
Very
want him to
little
be. Very little bit. Okay.
Joker's that's what makes it a little interesting is that Joker is just a character. Like you can do a few options, but for the most part, Joker is Joker.
Yeah. Very cool design, right?
Very cool design.
Yeah, I mean,
Even
Joker
his
now
Joker
is kind of like
design.
the face of Persona, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of ways, and especially after the popularity 5, and then him being in Smash and all that. So
Hmm.
yeah, a lot of ways, Joker really is the face of Persona. So that iconic status has to go up quite a bit. Um,
Yeah.
what is number 13?
So below Amicia, Amicia's at 11.
Okay,
Below that's Cloud,
okay.
and then right at 13 is Raz.
Mm.
I
14?
like Joker more than Raz,
You like Joker more than Raz?
but
Okay.
14 is Scorpion.
I could go one above Raz. I could be down for that.
Yeah, where does Joker compare to Cloud
I would not put
in
him above
general?
Cloud.
Okay.
Iconic status Cloud plus the story to back it up. Yeah, at this point I would not
Okay.
put Joker in front of Cloud.
Hearing you say that, then so
Yeah.
you compare him to Raz and Scorpion.
Yeah, I mean, with Raz, I really like Raz. I mean,
Me too.
I think
We have
Raz had a
Raz
lot of
really
this.
high.
Yeah, we do. I think Raz had the story to back it up from what I played of Psychonauts 2, which was the whole thing. But I never played the Psychonauts 1. I don't know. Yeah, I guess you could. I would put Joker above Raz, I think, right
Okay.
now. Yeah.
And then still above Scorpion.
Yeah.
And Scorpion's dropping a bit then this session.
What's gonna happen? He's gonna be like a number 100 someday.
Oh no. All right.
All right. I want to read off the top 10.
Yeah. So we got number 10, new number 10, Ryu from Street Fighter. Number 9 is GLaDOS from Portal. Number 8 is Kirby. Number 7 is Sonic the Hedgehog. Number 6 is Zelda. Number 5 is Cosmic Kiryu from Like a Dragon. Number 4 is Dutch from Red Dead. Number 3 is Abby from The Last of Us. Number 2 is Garrus from Mass Effect. And number 1 is John Marston from Red Dead.
John Marston. I like the southern accents. All right, great. We're certainly fleshing out this list here.
Yeah, we have 40 people ranked total right now.
Damn. Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That is going to do it for the Nerd Guys podcast, episode 180. What was it? 7? Yeah, 187 part 2. 187 part 2. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us over at youtube.com/nerdguys. You know, spawns available on all audio platforms. Daniel, anything else you want to say?
Get to playing some games and stop complaining.
Can't stop complaining. You know what I mean? 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. All right. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.